Hey guys, it's Sean once again, and in today's video, I'm going to answer a question that was posted on YouTube by LankyToast13. Credits to him for answering this question, and the question is this: can you do a video on the process to get a concealed carry permit in California? And explain how we could persuade the interviewer to give us that concealed carry permit. This is a very good question. I also want to throw out there that if you are working private security and you get a concealed carry permit in California, your pay, in my opinion, should be no lower than $25 an hour on average in California. Obviously, you're in San Francisco, San Jose areas where the cost of living are more. I think $30, $40, and maybe $50 is not too much to ask for. But at a very minimum, even if you are in the crummiest part of California where the income is rock bottom low, you should ask no more than $25 an hour, preferably 40, maybe 50, depending on your training and experience. So I think getting a concealed weapon permit for most people, as long as you feel comfortable carrying in this fashion and you have the proper training, I think it's a really good idea for those of you who are interested in making more money. There's different parts of California that are more susceptible to issuing the concealed carry permits. As for a map and more guidelines on where is more concealed carry permit issuance friendly, I'm going to leave a link in the description below, and it's through a video that Reno May made. Reno, R-E-N-O, May, M-A-Y. He has a map on there, and he gives you more information than me, you guys. I'm not an expert at concealed carry permits and how to get them. I know a little bit about it, and that's what the video is going to cover, but it looks like he has a lot more information than I do. So in private security, I think you have less of a chance of getting a concealed carry permit if you apply for it before you have a specific security job that requires that need. So let's just say you're not working security yet and you need the permit. I don't think a lot of places are going to give it to you. The better way to do it is through having some type of good cause, and it seems like that's a requirement, is good cause. What that means, it's a very ambiguous term. Nobody knows what that means, but you got to show some type of good cause. So what one interim chief told me once was good cause meant, why do you need the permit and why can't law enforcement protect you? Now, I asked this interim chief, well, how about those that have the jewelry shops or the businesses that move around a lot of money? And he said, well, aren't there armed carriers? Okay, well, that's a good point, but it's an additional expense that you have to produce. So he would say that in almost all cases he denied somebody a concealed weapon permit. And again, that was his choice. Okay, when a chief or a sheriff issues you the permit, they are carrying on a sort of a liability just in case something happens, and that's one of the reasons why they don't want to issue them. And also, you might have some that are against the Second Amendment as well. We know that happens in California. Okay. Now, if you work executive protection or maybe some type of plain clothes assignment that requires that extra security measure, maybe you work security and your assignment is workplace violence. Okay, workplace violence, and those are the kind of assignments that you typically work. Well, there's a good chance, depending on the threat, that this person's going to carry on an armed attack. So something like that, I think that's good cause to have for a chief or a sheriff to issue you a permit. Let's just say you work with celebrities or other executives. I also think that your risk to exposure is more than a lot of other people, more exposure to some type of threat, just because this person is a higher value target. Okay, I think your chances of getting concealed weapon permit are a lot greater than if you're just patrolling around the mall maybe plain clothes. See, the thing is this: if you work uniform security, I can't think of a need to have a concealed weapon permit other than maybe a secondary weapon. But having that argument presented to the person that's going to interview you that you need a secondary weapon just in case you get in a fight and you lose control over your primary handgun, I don't think it's gonna go well with them, especially if they're not that gun guy that understands the need to have a secondary weapon. Now you can always say, well, if I lose my primary weapon, then somebody can use that against against the public or even the police. That's something that you can argue as well. But I want to make it clear that if you do have a good cause for something that's not security related, go with that first. And then if it's security related, use that argument also, okay, as a secondary measure, just in case the first argument doesn't get you the permit, okay. A lot of excuse me, a lot of places in California, a lot of agencies, they don't want to issue the concealed weapon permit. It's political to them, but there's some sheriffs out there. I think in Riverside County, the sheriff loves to issue permits. He's a second amendment advocate, and I think everybody should be second amendment advocates in the Constitution. But he's been known to issue a lot of concealed weapon permits, and the good cause is just self-protection. That will work with some of the sheriffs or chiefs of police across California. That's your only reason is for protection for your home, your family. You want to preserve life, and a lot of sheriffs and police chiefs will accept that. But then there's some that they want a specific incident. If you work mall security, like I work mall security, I've been threatened a couple of times. Hey, I'm going to kill you when I come back. I would get police reports on this and just start having that stack of reports available to you when you interview for your concealed weapon permit. So what you're showing the person is that you have a greater chance than anyone else of being severely injured because there's a specific threat to your life. Okay, again, make sure that you get a report documented and you get a copy of that report. And I think that will also be helpful as well. Otherwise, I can't think of other good cause reasons other than specific threats. Again, they're in self-defense, but a lot of, like I said before, a lot of agencies won't accept that. So you definitely want to listen to Reno May. He's a lot more informative. I answered this question because you guys are my subscribers, and I have a duty to answer any question that you have of me where I have information, even if it's limited. So hope this video helps. If you are going to go for your permit, concealed weapon permit, hopefully you'll get it. Okay, you guys, be safe out there. Take care of one another, and hopefully we'll have a greater year this year.